Next weekend, it's a busy schedule of NASCAR action on NBC as we enter the home stretch in the race for the championship on Saturday. And note, this is a change from our original schedule. We have qualifying on Friday and final practice on CNN Sports Illustrated. Then Saturday, the NASCAR Busch Series race is on NBC at 2 Eastern Time from the new Kansas Speedway. And then next Sunday, Sprint PCS presents NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, 12:30 Eastern Time next Sunday on NBC. Spectacular new track. Can't wait for that one. There's Dale Earnhardt Jr., the leader. Ricky Rudd is closing in. Let's check with Matt Yoakum.
And Alan, one of the pre-race favorites, Ward Burton, is back here in the garage. Ward, what happened?
Not really sure, Matt. Some guys got together in front of us, and everybody checked up, and I just couldn't get slowed down. Bad race for today, but it was really exciting to see the patriotism here by all these race fans. A lot of proud people to be from this country, America.
When you talk about proud people in this country, there are also some proud people on this race team. One crew member, Sam Pardon, took a week's vacation. He's a Vietnam veteran and a welder at Bill Davis Racing. He flew up to New York City and helped the relief effort. The crew is trying to find anyone still stranded inside the buildings at the World Trade Center, helping weld apart the debris, trying to cut apart the debris, hoping to find some survivors. But what an American, a Vietnam vet, to take his vacation to try to go and help someone else.
And I'm told that Sam worked the overnight shift up at the Trade Center, trying his best to do something for someone else. All right, now we have got the leader behind. Oh, and he's going to go 3 wide off 4. Oh, and he's only 2 wide. And how did Rudd squeeze in there between Hermie Sadler and the 96 of Andy Houston?
Houston giving him a little room. Andy going a lap down, 29th place. And Hermie going 2 laps down. He's back in 34th. Rudd's kind of chipped away at this gap. Earnhardt Jr. has been out in front of him by about twice that amount, and he's chipped away and chipped away and chipped away.
I'm sorry, you're saying that he chipped away at it?
Chipped away.
Okay.
That means getting closer and closer, right? That's what you're trying to say?
Lap after lap after lap after lap.
There you go.
I still can't believe you said I was 50.
That's what I was told.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led 138 of the 164 laps that have been run so far. Other lap leaders on the day, Ricky Craven, Ricky Rudd, Bobby Labonte, and Dale Jarrett. And we go to Dave Burns.
And Alan, Dale Jr. does not like this set of tires as well as the last. That is his problem right now. Ricky Rudd, moving up, is doing great on the racetrack, but he had trouble in the pits last time because when he came in, they had already pulled his signboard up out of the way of Dale Earnhardt Jr., who was the leader, and Ricky almost missed his pits. So they put some new bright orange tape down on the pit to try to give Ricky Rudd a better opportunity to see his pit box, and they're going to try to make sure they have something else waving there so that Ricky doesn't miss his pit board if, misses pit stall that is, if Dale Jr. is still the leader on the next round of pit stops.
So there you go. You, like me, were asking what are we looking at this stripe for, and Dave with the explanation.
Put some very brightly colored tape on pit.
Trouble, turn 2. Andy Houston has crashed. Back down into traffic.
Oh, that's not a good
Look out.
Put it in gear. Go.
Caution's out.
Looks like his tires are up on the right side anyway.
6th time the yellow flag waves today. Not only is Rodney Wise, who's from Dover, up on the starter stand for NASCAR, and this young man has been here for about as long as I've been coming to Dover, stands right there below the starter stand for every practice, every car in qualifying, every lap of both races, and does a fine job of flagging the race. And let's take a look at why he's waving his yellow flag now.
Andy Houston goes in the corner. I think he got just a little bit too high. He was trying to ride that cushion, that just trying to get the most grip he possibly could. I think he got just a little bit too high. Got in the sand, and around he went. Jeff Gordon? No, don't tell me you missed another one.
Oh, no, center front.
Sure did.
Caution down.
Jeff has had a lot of big Signs of relief today.
Time to come to pit road for stops. These will be at lap 168. Last time off of pit road, it was Earnhardt Jr. and Stewart with a great race off the pit lane. Let's see how it turns out this time. Bill?
Okay, here's Jeff Gordon, luckiest guy on the racetrack so far today, despite the front-end damage. He radioed in about 5-6 laps ago that the car, the handle just went away, really sliding the rear end. 1 pound of air in the right rear. Other than that, it's just 4 tires and fuel for the DuPont Chevrolet. Dave?
No major adjustments on the leader, Dale Earnhardt Jr. They're going to make a slight air pressure adjustment, and they hope that the tires are going to be better than the last set they had on there. As for Ricky Rudd, no changes on him again, just slight adjustments, and now they're going to try to beat Tony Stewart out. What was it at the line?
Stewart out first.
Ricky Rudd had to jump on the brakes for not to hit Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting out of pit lane there.
Marty?
Well, Sterling Marlin's made some nice progress, guys. He was up to 11th on that last run. First time we have heard that name all day long. A little bit tight on that last run for Sterling. However, half pound out of the right front. Great progress for these guys. To Matt Yoakum.
Ron Hodaday had climbed as high as 3rd. Ron, did the 24 get you?
He must have. The thing got awful light in the back end. The car was a little free for 2 laps, but I mean, we've been fighting a tight condition all day, and there was no reason why that car come around coming off of 4. But I think the 7 car was slowing Jeff and I up, and we were racing pretty hard, and maybe he got frustrated because he's not used to seeing that Conseco green car run good. The last couple of races, we've been running good, and 7 car got crashed last week, and we checked up, and we got taken out by somebody behind us. And then this week, I mean, that was not called for, especially from the points champion. The guy was leading these points in the Winston Cup, but it's frustrating. But I keep saying we're coming back, but these guys are building a heck of a car, this Conseco Pontiac, and we're running good. Our pit stops are killing us. We running 5th to come out 10th, and that put us back there. Maybe we shouldn't have been running with Jeff at the time. He was getting frustrated because his car wasn't running good.
Certainly had some tough luck, Alan.
Ron Hornaday behind the wall. Let's check the race off of pit road. And note that Elliott Sadler has stayed on the track. It is the new leader who's going to be the next man in line.
Watch 28 right here. There's Tony Stewart, and Earnhardt's coming out at the same time. And Ricky really had to jump on the brakes.
How about the Pennzoil team? Doing a great job getting Kenny Wallace out. Last time they got him up from 11th to 5th.
We need to check to see what Skinner did there. If he only took right sides, because he's sitting at 6th right now. And he was back around 19th or 20th, I believe. So
he was in 19th. Marty?
Well, Wally, if you had to bet, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say the
2 tires. Yeah,
2 tires.
Good bet. I was going to save you there, Wally. They have a very good car, actually. They've been pretty good all day long. Boyce McGee, the crew chief, just told me we just need some track position. If we get up there, I think we can run with the leaders, but 2 tires at Dover is a risky proposition at best. Today, Burns.
And Marty Jr. radioed to his crew, sorry guys, that was my fault. Y'all had a good stop. I just did not get out of the pit box on time. And then he added, I'm not a machine. Let's go to Bill.
Well, here's something unusual. Jeff Gordon came in 6th or 7th, and right now is 19th on the racetrack. And here's the reason. They did lose a lug nut on the right front, so that slowed their pit stop down. Jeff called in, asked what happened. They told him that they did a little work on the front fender there, so it took a little longer on the pit stall, but they got the lug nuts back on and sent him back out. And after they explained everything to Jeff, he goes, can you imagine how good we'd be doing if I stopped running into things?
And now he's set himself back in harm's way again.
Yeah.
For another restart. Now let's mention that Elliott Sadler, who stayed out on the track when the other leaders pitted, has now come down pit road. And so it is Tony Stewart who goes up into the lead. Log on now to NASCAR.com and check out the Conseco NASCAR Fantasy Challenge. Pick your own team of drivers and see how you match up against other fantasy teams. Log on today and you might just win a replica of the number 14 Conseco Winston Cup Pontiac.
Now we'll see how those 2 tires work for Skinner here at BP. Probably okay at the start, but
it's not working too good right now. He's holding up Dale Jarrett big time as they all try to go around the 7 car of Mike Wallace.
Let's remember that Jeff Gordon is back in 18th place on this restart, and here comes Junior.
Wow. You know, those guys in the garage here, they're really a smart bunch. They told me this morning that 8 car is really, really fast. Oh, Tony Stewart looks like he got a little bit loose getting in 3 when that 28 car pulled up right behind him. That's what we call arrow loose.
That could be. Got the nose right underneath the tail and took a little air off the rear spoiler. Also packed a little air underneath the rear bumper, and it makes the rear of the car loose.
And Nemechek, that 33 car, hanging in there with Tony Stewart. But once again, he is 29th position, 1 lap down.
Bobby Labonte's back on track, 135 laps down after the early accident he was involved in. Mark Martin is out. Andy Houston's in the garage. Johnny Benson, Ron Hornaday, Ward Burton, Kurt Busch, Jeremy Mayfield, Kyle Petty. No further update yet on Mayfield. Just joining us, he was transported to a local hospital after a lap 56 crash in turn 1 for x-rays and CAT scans.
Just at the top of your screen now, you saw the cars coming off turn 4. You saw Dale Jarrett get by Mike Skinner and take over the 5th position.
Let's go back and look at this race for 7th with Rusty Wallace in the deuce and Kevin Harvick in the 29. Let me just mention that Jeremy did walk away from his car, but they suspect that he might have suffered a concussion, and that's why they took him to check and do those x-rays. So if I made that clear enough the first time around.
Here goes the 29, Harvick on the inside of Rusty Wallace. Sterling Marlin, a 40 car. And there's Kenny Schrader, the American flag, running in 10th position.
And again, Jeff Gordon behind this, hoping nothing happens to these guys as they run side by side that he might run into.
You see Schrader's car, the 36 car, the American flag, that is all decal. The entire car is a decal. And it took the guy, the body shop guy, back to the shop 13 hours all night, Wednesday night, to apply that decal. 13 hours worth.
Harvick threw Rusty Wallace for 7th. Sterling Marlin threw him for 8th. Here comes Ken Schrader to race him for 9th.
Just when Schrader started to drive in there, Rusty brought that 2 car back down.
Since the start of the race, Rusty really hasn't been able to keep that car down on the racetrack. He's been running in the middle of the racetrack even from the start of the race. So he tries to get back down on the bottom, getting off the corner so the car won't push so bad coming off of like turn 4. Actually trying to make a straighter shot.
You see the race for position there. The lap car of Hunt Strickland separating 8th and 9th.
Casey Atwood back there behind Mike Wallace in the 7th car. That's a good run going to 19, number 19 Dodge.
There he is. Casey started in 18th place. Right now he's racing Jeff Gordon for 11th. The 7 car just in front of the Mike Wallace is in 30th place. The 2nd car 1 lap down. Slide underneath Atwood there.
Outside, clear, all clear.
That'd put Jeff back in the 11th spot. Remember, he fell on his pit stop due to the lug nut falling off, back to 18th place. Race for position here. Atwood in the Kenny Wallace off the pace from 5th spot.
Pit road, guys.
Ty Norris, the spotter, telling me he's on pit road. A battle for the lead. Ricky Rudd goes by Junior, takes it away.
Second time today, Rudd has been out in front. Probably the first time today we've seen somebody pass Dale Jr. for the lead on the track.